Sun. Yes. Yeah, the sun is here. Can't see it. See, I get real excited about this time of year. It's maybe why I'm over the top today, because this is a time of celebration. This day. And how unusual that we get to be together on this day. That's what's so neat about it. So I'm all for celebrating and then a little rest this afternoon. Oh, yes, midnight. Well, I made it. I did. And what a beautiful burning bowl ceremony we had last night, too. So the whole evening was absolutely lovely. I began to think on this day that we are on several journeys at the same time. We are on this physical journey of life that takes us from the womb to the grave. Now, I know a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot, but a few, who think that life is nothing. It has no meaning at all. And maybe, in a sense, those people are right. Because maybe it's you and me that give meaning to life. Life just is. This life, and we could ask, what is life anyway? This physical life that we're living, how did we get here? What are we doing here? Well, those are all questions that you and I get to answer. But then there's another journey that we are on, some of us. We call it the spiritual journey. And this goes, to me, with this physical journey. They go together because the spiritual enhances the physical. Now, there are some people that say, I don't need anything spiritual. That's fine. I need it. I need to have that enhancement in my life. I need to have that depth in my life. This spiritual journey is all about awakening to the truth of who we are. This awakening, in that process, there are many, as Paul said in the Bible, I die daily. So there are many days or moments when we die to the old and when we are being born to the new. The spiritual journey then is one that is revitalizing. It energizes me, gets me all excited that I'm here and I'm doing something worthwhile for me and for the world. Now, at the same time, there's another journey that we are on. We could call it the cosmic journey. So for this, since there are numbers involved, I will have to go to my notes. This cosmic journey, we know that the Earth revolves on its axis every 24 hours. We know that. And we know that the Earth, well, maybe, we don't all know this, that the Earth is a little more than 24,000 miles in circumference. Which means that if you were standing on the equator, maybe in Ecuador, you would be going a little more than 1,000 miles an hour. Compute? I don't know, maybe not. It's hard to get my mind around this, but that's the way it is. That is part of the cosmic journey, but hold on, because there's a lot more when we keep expanding this. As an earthling, you are traveling in space at this very moment at a speed of 67,000 miles an hour on this ancient pilgrimage of Earth's 365-day journey around our day star, the sun. At the same time as that journey is taking place, you, along with the sun and the planets of our solar system, are traveling at 633,000 miles an hour in a circular journey around our galaxy. See how this expands? We are a part of something so magnificent, but there's more. This is a lengthy journey which takes our solar family 230 million years to make one complete circle around our galaxy. 230 million years. And as a resident of that galaxy, with its more than 200 billion stars, remember how Carl Sagan used to say billion and billion stars? You are also traveling at 1.4 million miles an hour on a mystic pilgrimage toward constellations and beyond. Truly, each one of us is a cosmic traveler. We can call ourselves pilgrims. Isn't that interesting? That we are part of something that is so, we can't even get our minds around that. I don't know, maybe you can. I couldn't. But it is amazing. That I know. I like to think of myself at this time of year as an explorer. That I am in new territory I've never been in before. Every moment is new. Never been here. Now, at this new year, which I see as a really significant day and time, is that we all have choices to make. Choices that would either say that this is just another day when we pick up a new calendar and we look at it, or it's a day when we can commit to making some significant choices, doing different things in our lives. As the Daily Word said, opening to new ideas. It's exciting, isn't it? I think so. There's something, as we said in the Burning Bowl ceremony last night, something so significant about taking that first step toward whatever this is that you're going to do this year, and then committing to it. Such power in that. In ancient times, the New Year was a time of celebration. They celebrated the fact that the old year was gone. It had died. And now there was a new something being born. How do we, in America today, celebrate this day? We watch television, and we watch bowl games. Games that have competition in them. There is a fight to win. That's how we do that on this day. And I'm not saying it's wrong. No, not at all. The most significant part of that day and doing just that thing is because you're probably with friends. Think of all the parties that are going on this afternoon. Oh, maybe now. I don't know. When did it start? Last night? Last night. Okay, well, I don't have a clue anyway, but I probably won't be watching a bowl game. But if you are, I think it's a wonderful thing because you are celebrating in a way with friends. But you know what is more important to me than the game? It's the friends. It seems that in this life that we have so much to do. Tell me, is your life sometimes overwhelmed with so much to do? There are so many obligations, so many things we have to take care of. Our work demands so much of us. And we also have new technology to keep up with. Sometimes it's more than we can handle. So I find that we need to cultivate friendship, to take time to actually do that. And maybe this is the year that some of us need to do that. You see, it was so much easier to do that in days gone by. I think of the little village that I lived in, and most of the people stayed in that village for their whole life. I might have been one of the few that escaped. But these people were there. They lived with each other every day. They knew each other well. We don't do that anymore. We move around frequently. So we may have a lot of acquaintances, but how many real friends do we have? I have a friend who says that I hardly have any friends. Well, maybe it's because that person hasn't taken time to cultivate friendship. Maybe this is the year when we can actually sit down, look at people, talk with them, listen. Wouldn't that be something new to do, perhaps? Not for a lot of us, but for some it would. Yes. I like to think that life could be a bit more enterprising. I read an article about that, so that's why I chose that word, enterprising, which means that, well, it implies that there is this willingness to experiment, a willingness to look at new ideas and new things, a willingness to take some risks in life. And I'm not talking about foolish risks. We've taken those in the past, many of us. No, I'm talking about things that maybe we want to do, something that's been nagging at us for years. Is this the year when we're finally going to listen and do something about it? That we can move forward with courage and confidence and faith and know that we have the ability to do whatever this thing is, whatever life is asking of us. We could be more enterprising. And in all of that, we could also take the time to find the silence and the solitude and the pursuit of a spiritual life. The other day, and this is not so much, I suppose, about being an enterprising individual, but it's more about the curiosity that we all need to have about life. The taking the time to actually, like you said, the snow. Let's appreciate it. When we came back from the restaurant last night, the trees were gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So the other day, I was at physical therapy, and as I always do, when on my way out, after all the pain, you know, physical therapy goes, if you've ever had any, I stop at the fish tank. There are the most gorgeous fish in that tank. Well, I've never seen anyone else down there, but maybe they do. Well, on this day, an elderly gentleman came and stood next to me, and he said, "Aren't they beautiful?" I said, "Yes, they are." He said, "What's your favorite one?" I said, "Oh, that one with the blue stripes. Those are electric blue stripes. And look at how its nose, I don't know, do fish have noses? I don't know. But anyway, it was kind of like just turned up. I thought it was cute as could be." He said, "Well, my favorite one is that bright yellow one that has black on it and kind of like it, almost, excuse me, like it's almost wearing a mask." In telling this, I guess I get excited because I've never had a gentleman come and stand next to me and look at the fish tank. This was a new experience for me. So he said, "Don't you think that all this beauty is wasted on all these people? I have never seen anyone stand here and look at this, and I come here often." I said, "No, I don't think it's wasted. We're here. You and I are looking." And he just smiled, and, you know, in all that little conversation that we had, it made my day. Stop and look at the fish. They're so beautiful. So beautiful. So I want to then share with you something, a video that I saw. Peggy Henriksen, thank you, because you sent this to me way back in April. And I think it's time, when we talk about a new year, an enterprising person, a motivating person, someone who gives us inspiration. Let's look at it.
On just about any given day, Diane Rose is making a quilt. In her home, she is surrounded by them. A few are keepsakes, but most are orders from folks who know quality when they see it.
My quilts are to be snuggled up with and cuddled and just loved on because they're comfy.
But the colorful patterns and expert stitching is something Diane herself has never seen. Diane is blind. Diagnosed with glaucoma at an early age, Diane's vision went completely dark in 1984. It took another 14 years without sight for Diane to find her way. Was this a revelation? Did you make a quilt and say, this is what I'm supposed to do?
No.
Or what?
A few days before, I was kind of depressed and it was raining. And I was like, you know, God, what's the deal here? I don't get it. Where are my talents? And it was raining. I threw my hands up and I said, Lord, show me where my talents are. And my hands got warm and then all the way went down to my elbows. And I'll never forget the heat that went through my hands. And I said, in my hands? What do you want me to do? And the next day I was visiting a friend. She asked me if I knew how to quilt. And I said, no. She said, would you like to? And I said, oh, yeah, I would love to.
Between then and now, she's made quilts for folks across the country. 500 quilts to be exact, and every one is stitched together with determination and attitude that will conquer the largest of obstacles. She makes the impossible possible, and when the whirlwind that is Diane Rose stops for a minute, she will inspire you with her wit, talent, and outlook. Something tells me you don't consider yourself handicapped.
Not in the least. No. That's a cop-out. No. I don't even, Ralph Emery told me one time, he asked Ronnie Millsap something, and Ronnie Millsap said, it's an inconvenience, and that's what it is. It gets in my way for things that I need to do, that I have to do. An inconvenience. It gets in my way, and I don't like it sometimes because it's things that you really have to wait for someone else to help you to do. I do travel by myself. I cook. I put a cookbook together before. I do ceramics. I don't like sitting still doing nothing.
Spend some time with Diane and she'll tell you how she worked for a radio station in Nashville and met nearly every country music recording artist alive. Her living room is a shrine of photos and autographs from the stars she calls her family. It's easy to become part of Diane's family. We spent the day with her and suddenly we were family too.
Some people just don't change, meaning that you will look the same today as you will for 5 years from now in my eyes. Do you understand?
What do I look like?
Well, very tall. You definitely eaten a lot of chicken and dumplings.
And chicken fried steak.
I'm trying to be nice.
Diane does have a friend that helps her pick and sort colors and patterns, but her quilts are made 100% by hands, not guided by eyes. Diane Rose may be blind, but her quilts are a sight to see, bursting with color, inspiration, and love. It's just all in a day's work for a woman who is the master of making the best out of what life offers. Do you think you're a role model for people?
I hope so. I want to be an encourager, to encourage people to do something with their lives than doing nothing. Because so many people in the world this day and time have no gumption, have no purpose, and they don't want to get off the couch. They want to sit there and woe is me, my back hurts, my this, my that, and wallow in themselves when they can get out. The more you do for someone else, the more God's going to bless you, even if it means giving somebody a cup of coffee or a hug or something like that.
And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Well, last night, and again I mentioned our Burning Bowl service, because I had emailed Paul Krause. He was singing for us last night. And he said that he was going to do this song. I asked him if he could change the last song. Oh, sure, he could do that. And so at the end, he was going to tack on This Little Light of Mine. So we had to email him back and said, we don't do little lights here. We only do big lights.
Amen.
And in Paul's way, I mean, if you know him, you can just hear him, see him say, well, of course we do. Of course we do big lights. I should have known. Yes, but you see, a lot of us, maybe not in this room, but a lot of people don't know they have a light. And if they do, they think it's very small. We play small. We hide behind our, as she said, our excuses, our alibis. We sit on our energies. We hide out in the wings, hoping that no one is going to see us or hear us when we need to get out and get involved in life. Get involved in life. That's exactly what Diane said. Get out there. There are so many things to do for other people. It was Iyanla, I think that's the way you say her name, Iyanla Vanzant, an author. And she said that each of us is a light, a big light. And when you are a light, you cannot complain about the darkness. Just forget it. Because your responsibility is to go out in the world every day and be a light wherever you are. Be a light in whatever you do. So we do have a responsibility. To let your light shine then means that you will, excuse me, that you will live your life with purpose, as she said. Pursue a dream, perhaps. Get off this idea that we can make excuses in life. We don't have to do that. Just go ahead and do it anyway. I keep thinking about that book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Yeah, do it. Feel the fear, but go ahead and do it, because that's what you're here for. Renew your life. That's what this day is for. Let your light shine, not only for yourself and on your light, but let it shine for the whole world. Namaste.